Hello everyone, welcome back to the class of C programming. This time we continue to work on pointers, and especially we are going to use pointers so that we can write a function with multiple outputs. Okay, so this is the example we talked last time. We are writing a function such that we are going to separate an integer into three parts: positive sign, negative sign, sign p, and then the integer part, and then the fractional part. Okay, so this is function with one input and three outputs, and then how we can achieve this. And well, to achieve this, clearly we are going to use pointers. We are going to use pointers. This is a so-called mechanism pass by reference. Pass by reference. In general, when in the C program, when we call a function, the function only carries out the value of the inputs, okay, of the values of the arguments. And so basically you cannot change the values of arguments. But anyway, there is a mechanism that's a so-called call by reference. If you have a pointer as an input, and so the function may change the value for the pointer, change the value of the content indirectly referenced by the pointer. So going back to this example, first of all, the function we are creating here, well, this is in pink color, okay. We consider this function it is void type because really we are going to make all three outputs as the actual parameter of the function, and the plus it has one input. This num, it is the input, it is double type, and three outputs when it is character type, because we are going to put a plus sign or minus sign there. The other, it is the integer part, so that is the integer part, int type. And the fractional part, well, let's still use a double type. And also note, this time, okay, when we use function parameters and we want to consider the parameters as outputs, and look closely, okay, sign p, really indeed it is declared as a pointer, and whole p, the integer part, another pointer, fraction p, frac p, that is a pointer. Okay, and then it is possible we can replace, change the value for those pointers, so-called the function call by reference, okay. And now let's look at the actual implementation here. And well, num, it is input, and hopefully it's easier to detect if we have plus sign or minus sign. So this is the basic idea. If the num it is less than 0, clearly it has a minus sign there. And also, if the number it is greater than 0, it has plus sign. And also the program prepared by the textbook, it is very well written. We didn't consider case what will happen to the number 0. When the number is 0, we simply put a blank sign there. So let's say any number has a sign, could be a blank, could be positive, could be negative. That's for the sign p part, Okay, keeping in mind the sign p, it is declared as a pointer. And in order to indirect reference to its value, you use the asterisk sign. So the actual value, now it is assigned with minus. Actual value, it is assigned with blank. Actual value, it is assigned with plus. And then how do we separate a number from the integer part and decimal part? Certainly with people, we can see that's the integer part and that's the decimal part. And for computer, it takes a little bit of extra thinking. And there are different ways to achieve that. But anyway, hopefully you know there are many math functions comes with the C language. So we call a math function which is called a floor. Floor of the number, okay. First of all, we take the absolute value of the number, so no plus or minus. And then floor of a magnitude, it is a double type. It is magnitude, it is double type, okay, absolute value. And then the magnitude the floor of the magnitude, because magnitude it is always positive. The floor simply takes out the integer part. Say if you have number 2.13, the floor it is 2. If you have number 100.98, and then 100, that is the floor. Okay, so in that way, we take out the integer part. After getting the integer part, hopefully it's easier to see. We have the fractional. Remaining part, it is fractional part. Remaining part, it is the fractional part. Okay, remaining part, it is the fractional part. The magnitude minus the floor, magnitude minus the floor, or the count of whole p. And be very careful when we are actually using a pointer, when we are using the pointer to indirectly reference to the value. So basically, this is the function, okay, with pointers as outputs. So 3 pointers. So all 3 values will be changed by this function accordingly. And also to have a bigger picture how we can use pointers to pass values or to change the values of parameters of C language functions. And there is a complete source file on the file posted on the Pilot, okay, on the screen. And this is a complete source file, and it has a main function, and it has the separate function. I still, you are going to read the source file carefully, and this source file, I believe, can be copied and pasted directly into a compiler. So you want to give a try to see if it compiles and runs, and especially how it runs, okay? For my explanation part, I just want to point out again, this is how we declare variables. And you may wonder, we really did not declare any actual pointers, right? There's a reason, okay? There is a reason. We'll try to explain later. But anyway, let's take a look. Sign, it is a char type. It could be positive or minus. WHL, it is integer. And FR, it is a double type. That's because that's for the decimal part. And then how we convert actual variables into a pointer. Taking the address, you guessed it. Okay, this separate function, it is defined with 4 parameters. Import 3 outputs. And the import, it is fine. You use the regular name for the function. For the outputs, you're going to use pointers. But anyway, you may wonder, we declared variables, not pointers, right? Okay, variables of char, int, and double. How do we make those variables a pointer? You take out the address. You take out the address of each variable. That will convert those variables to pointers. And so this function, the function call does match how the function it is declared. Okay. Separate, it is a void type, so we do not return any value here. And import double none, second output, first output. Okay, then 3 outputs. Char, int, double. Okay, and these are the asterisks. These are the pointers. And to pass those pointers to the function, we take the address of each variable. Take the address of each variable. The second one, third one, and the fourth one. And it's hard for me to explain line by lines, and also I don't think you would be able to follow simply by listening to my reading of those lines from the source files. So again, as I'm saying, if you are watching, you really want to copy and paste the source file from the notes. Also, it is posted on Pilot. And then give it a compile and then give it a run. And then hopefully you will better understand. Okay. And so this is the material of chapter 6, 6.1, 6.2. They are all about pointers. And especially 6.2 might take a little more time because it tells us one way to change the parameters of C functions, change of values of the C functions. And thank you for watching.